Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Creekside 14 by 28 inches. Pretty big for me, and I'm real happy to share this painting experience with you. Before we get into that, though, I want to point out it's a good one to check out in the members area. It's not super long. There's quite a lot of good tips being passed along as I'm painting it in real time. That's 4K, no ads, and $6 a month, which I split with, the Google gods. So that's all good. Anyway, okay, so a few things I'm doing different here. I am not using burnt umber. Or Paraline. I'm using a base here for my drawing of brown ochre. And the reason for this is because of the sort of sepia nature of the painting overall. I know a lot of my drawing will come through the finished piece. So in my mind, I was thinking I really don't want too much red. So there was a little burnt umber mixed in with that brown ochre, but not a lot. And actually you can see in the dark color I'm bringing, that is burnt umber with a little bit of Mars black. And another thing I did a little different on this was that I normally just use oil alone to thin the paint, but in this particular instance I put in some spirits as well, and I think that really worked pretty good. For one, the drawing was done, so I did the drawing slash underpainting one day and came in and finished it about 2 days later. It was bone dry, so dry enough that I could oil it out lightly with a little rag. So I'm really enthused about that. For this sort of sepia thing, I want it to be right up in between a reddish and a greenish. So you may or may not be aware, but that brown can go green or red. And so and brown, of course, the Japanese don't even have a word for it. It's just too subtle of a color, and it really is. I mean, what is brown? Oh, it's that mess you get when you mix all your colors together. That's one kind of brown, but you can have a cleaner sort of brown. One byproduct of this approach was, and you see me doing it there, I had to oil it out a little bit prior to doing the finishing the painting, because the dark areas had gone extremely matte. And that's no doubt, because I popped in a little bit of yellow ochre, which I don't regret. I don't regret it, because the overall painting came out looking really good. And this was my brief for this painting, was I'm going to be painting larger. I'm going to be doing a whole series of larger paintings, you'll see. Large for me, we're not talking 30 by 40 or 40 by 60 or anything like that yet, but large for me. I was going to do this scene as a 5 by 10, and so this is way bigger at 14 by 28. By the way, there you just see me discussing really in the members area what brushes I'm using and why. That's always a thing. The brief was to so one of my problems with scaling up has always been that I start overworking or over laboring the painting, because everything's so much bigger and there's so much more room. But here what I really wanted was to have the sort of freshness I would have had in that 5 by 10, where the flick of a wrist is a bush or a tree. I wanted that, so my strategy was to use quite a bit larger brushes. I used a 10 for a lot of this painting. You see me, that's what I'm painting with the sky area now. And as you can see, I actually had to stand up and do a little bit there. It just, weird pains in my arm, not being caused by the painting, but by other factors in my life, and thankfully that's been getting better. But I wanted the sky to be. So my whole goal here is to have some color. Like there's bits of sneaky orange in there. There's bits of sneaky burnt sienna in there. There are reds and oranges, but the overall effect is not of a big rusty painting. I wanted something that could work in a fairly neutral room, and that was my goal. And I wanted it to be fresh. I didn't want it to be overworked, overlabored, and that's going to be my goal for all of the larger pieces I have going forward. So some of the larger things I've done here have been like these seaside scenes of actual places. I've gotten extremely detailed for me, and I don't have much interest in that. It's not really the kind of painter I want to be. I want to be expressive. I want to create something beautiful and expressive that's moving, dynamic, and has a beautiful tonal color. Those are my goals. My goals are not to lovingly render all the branches and leaves of any given tree, or all the ripples or catch lights on the pond, or any of that. Um, and so, you're looking for tips. Well, here's a tip. You want to scale up, use a bigger brush, a much bigger brush. Try, definitely, in fact, I've got away from that in recent years because I, I, I don't have this sort of, I started out as an illustrator, pen and ink guy, and I always loved excessive details. So that's one of the big things I had to unlearn when I was painting. We're going to have an ad for my book coming up, and we've been doing good with the book. Lots of people have been buying it. I think you'll love it. Honestly, I do. It's just about anything I could think of that I learned about painting, I put in the book. It's $60 US, and that includes international shipping, which is quite expensive. I don't make a ton of money in this book, but I am so gratified. And very soon we will be shipping the 100th copy. Now, every one of these books is signed and numbered. Uh, I have actually sold a few more, but the only ones getting signed and numbered are the ones going out of my store. So those, I think, are extra collectible. And at some point, who knows, you may get a knock on your door from someone trying to track you down to see which particular number of M. Francis McCarthy book that you have. Oh, by the way, you can call me Mike. I go by M. Francis. People know why. Or you can call me Francis, you can call me Mud, you can call me anything you want. So, yeah, I'm real happy with the sky, how it came out. I did contemplate going a little brighter, but I don't think I will. One thing I did struggle a little bit with was a bit of a slant on some of the horizontals, and this is because I'm working at an angle and I'm working quite large. So, make a note to myself. That's one of the reasons why I have to rely on the T-square. I think people working straight on wouldn't have as many problems, but I actually work at an angle, and I do that for you, and so that the videos come out looking really good with it's straight on. But I'm actually at a pretty good angle, probably like a 28, 30 degree angle, and it's all good. So, other than not wanting it to be too red or too green, I was happy though. Like you see that little ridge in the back. I was thinking, gosh, that looks really good just as the drawing color over the board, and there was a lot of that. So when I started going in with the middle tone, which I think you see me doing there now. It was judicious because I thought I pretty much had things every place. I had the shadows where I wanted them. I knew my highlights were going to be, coming in. But that middle tone, which was board peeking through, I didn't want to change or modify those areas much. I didn't want to overpaint. And I didn't. And I'm so happy and pleased. And this is video number 501 for those of you paying attention, but that numbering's a little off because there's actually I don't know, over 1,000, well over 1,000 videos on the channel, probably of about I don't know, 700 or 800 paintings, that kind of thing. So there's more. Someone was asking me on Facebook, oh, where can I watch all your videos? It's like, I don't think anyone could watch all my videos. If you could prove to me that you've watched every one of my videos, I will send you a painting. I guarantee it. I definitely will. I don't know how you can prove it. Maybe a screenshot of each video. Don't do it. But you know what is good? You can go into the playlist section, and I'm gonna have to get back in there and do a little more work. Um, and you can see it goes by year, so you can kind of go through by year and cherry pick things that look interesting to you. Um, I've been a good painter for a long time, but it really doesn't matter how good you are. You build from better to better to better. Ideally, unless you go the other direction, which I haven't been. I've been improving, and that's what you want. And the best way to improve is to paint all the time. Now, I was on the again. I've been off social media for a while, so you'll have to pardon me if I'm commenting a bit. But I do see, and I really love to follow me if you're on social media. If I see your work, I'll give you a positive comment. I'm not that into commenting on the posts of really big time established painters with hundreds or dozens of comments or whatever. My whole thing is finding something good about the work of people that are trying and striving to master this art of landscape painting. And so I believe in encouraging that. I believe in finding the and generally, something might succeed compositionally. Maybe you failed on color, or maybe you succeeded on color and composition, but you failed on your brushwork or texture. Who knows? But I'm not the one that's going to tell you where you fail, but I will be the guy. Unless, of course, you email me directly. I'm always happy to do that. You can send me any painting you've got and say, Mike, tell me what's wrong with this, and I will. Lovingly. Yeah. Anyway, this is for me, it's a pivotal piece. It marks the beginning of the next phase of my career, where I'm going to be selling larger work for higher prices. There is still some stuff in the store. I do have, a good backlog of small work, some of which I found some galleries that are very happy to get that into the hands of collectors, which is so exciting and just makes me feel good. But going forward, I am looking at wanting to make bigger work with higher prices, and I will be offering these for sale on my website, but it's going to be more like special. It's not going to be what it has been, and that's a good reason to join my mailing list. If you go to the site now, you see one of those annoying pop-ups, but put your name in there and you'll be kept abreast of whatever's going on. And that's not just with sales of art, but instructional things. I'm getting ready to do some other little moves there. Like, I think I'm making a little book maybe about tonalism that's a giveaway, that kind of thing. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you got something out of watching me put this video, putting this painting together, and of course the corresponding video. And I really appreciate any comments that people leave, and there's lots of ways to support me if you're getting value from what I share here. There's a donation area and button on the site, and one of the most gratifying things I get is donations from people, really significant amount of money, so a helpful one, and really interesting to know that care to part with some of their hard-earned dosh to help me out. And anyway, but a like, a comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid, take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Thanks for watching. Stay out of trouble, and God bless you and your family.